Hi, everyone. So I woke up this morning and I got a very clear message in my meditation that I needed to share with all of you. Um, a message and something that keeps showing up over the past week. And my guide said that we are in a very interesting energy right now in December. And you couple just the energy on the planet with the holidays. And it can really throw you out of your alignment if you are not centered and grounded and connected to your higher self and to source energy. And so this is why I always talk about it. It's so important you use your tools, whatever those are for you. Okay, but on a mind, body, spirit level every day to figure out what you need to stay centered, grounded, and connected to your highest self. And so what I have found often is it's real easy when you're living your everyday life and you're not sitting in constant prayer and meditation, because that's just not realistic, right? To get thrown back into the frenetic 3D energies, okay? 3D being there's a lot of contrast in 3D operating versus 5D, which is peace, unity, consciousness, harmony, grace, ease. It's like the heavenly energies of the other side. And if you follow me, you know I've been talking a lot about you can bring heaven to earth. You can live in 5D in the 3D plane. Okay, and that's my next book that's coming out in the spring. But to bring this back to, this is really coming down to getting out of our heads, dropping into our hearts, because our feelings are our guidance. Okay, our feelings that come from the heart center, that's our intuition, our instincts, okay? Now, I fully believe you want to balance intellect and intuition to make good, responsible choices, right? But intuition first, and then follow it up with, checking it with intellect, okay? And so what I'm seeing a lot is, okay, let me give you 3 examples. First one is, my husband's birthday was the other day. And I had a dream that I was supposed to get him a certain gift. And so I thought, that's really weird. On paper, I don't know that he's going to want this. And why would I get him that? But I followed the dream because it felt, my instinct said, I put it out there. What does he want? And Spirit showed me through a dream. So I went to purchase it. I actually found it. I purchased it. And the total came to 222. Okay. And 222, I mean, exactly to the dollar. But 222 means keep the faith, stay in faith and trust. Everything's going to work out for everyone involved. You're on the right track. Okay. Then a few hours later, I went to buy him a card and I bought 2 other groceries. And the total for that was $22.20. So I followed my heart versus my head that easily could have talked me out of it. And I got validation and I was in a flow. Okay, so that's one example. Another example is I went to dinner the other night. It was for my husband's birthday, and the server's name was Zach. And the next day, I looked at the receipt, and it said server's name was Zach, and my younger brother's name is Zach, and I got this overwhelming feeling I need to check up on Zach. And so I called him, and he picked up the phone. He said, I cannot believe you're calling me, because he wanted to share something with me, but I smiled. I said, that was my dad, Spirit, and I validated Zach on something, and it was really important. So Spirit, my father, was using me as a messenger to show up for my dad. And again, I could have talked myself out of it, but that's an example of how Spirit will use signs, okay, and use us as messengers. So when you get an instinct, a feeling, before your head has an opportunity to jump in and analyze it or talk you out of it, follow it. You get the validations. And my final example was yesterday. I had a reading with a woman. I hadn't worked with her in probably 6 or 7 years. And so I, as with any reading, I start on a blank slate. I don't remember. And I start going into her higher guides showing me her soul contract and her purpose and where she's supposed to be at. And right away I said, your guides basically have encouraged you to walk away from a long-term relationship. And I know it doesn't make sense on paper, but your feelings are, this isn't right. And I need to free up my boyfriend and free up myself for the next right someone that's in my soul plan. And so I went on to validate all this stuff for her. And she said, yes, I just broke up with my boyfriend. And everything Spirit brought through her reading, she was in tears. She said, wow. So this all began with, she knew she needed to leave. And my book, Awaken the Spirit Within, that she got like 10 years ago, okay, that had been sitting on her nightstand forever, that she only had read a few chapters years ago. She got strong guidance. She just kept staring at the book, which is Spirit saying, hey, there's a message in there for you. She picked up Awaken the Spirit Within, started reading it, and by chapter 2, she said, something shifted. Whatever you channeled through that book, Spirit was saying, you must leave. And she said, I got the courage to leave. And then once I had the uncomfortable but important conversation with the boyfriend, in her email, it popped up that I had private readings available. And there was still one available. And so she jumped on it and she got the reading. Thus, I come into the equation with the reading, validating, not knowing this, every single thing she had already done. So she was blown away. The bottom line is the synchronicity was divinely orchestrated, Spirit using me as the messenger to validate what she already knew. She said every single thing that you just said, I already knew. So the point is, when you get a strong feeling or instinct, follow it, okay? You never know if it's for you or if it's Spirit using you for someone else, because we're all in this together and we are here to support each other along our soul's path, okay? And to help each other stay in alignment with Source and with our higher self so that we can show up each day in grace, ease, and flow and fulfill our soul's purpose in a 5D heavenly way. I hope that inspires you. As always, I'm wishing you brightest blessings and all love.